Testing. Hopefully audio is alright. Select. Refresh. Um, cool. So we are live. That should be fine. Right. Let's tell people on Discord. Alright, that should be good. Call the notifications, and then what we can do is get some music, YouTube music. No matter what I choose, YouTube always tells me off. So pretty sure it's the same tracks, like everywhere. What if we get some EDM? I've been heading down a one-way street, can't turn around. It says it's all copyright. No copyright, game music, and then you still get done. Oh, I might have to just choose one of these. Okay. Okay, I can't listen to that one because I listen to it while I'm trying to sleep. I'll end up falling asleep on stream. Lo-fi chill beats. Was that the one I just chose? All right. This internet's terrible. Okay, hopefully I am making enough noise that you can hear me. So the idea is, I'll probably have to repeat myself if some people join in. But the idea is that we can sort out the guns, and we're going to check out the weapon holsters. So right now, they don't work as they necessarily should. Launch the PC. What I've done is I've optimized the guns, and then we built the manual reloading in. I got the hand animations to work on it yesterday as well. So if I jump in, and then we take a look, look at our hands, we can ignore this gun, but we can go up to this one, grab it now, and then we can load the gun, rack it, and if I pull the trigger, it actually plays an animation on the hand, or at least it should. Like this one. So when I pull the trigger, the hand actually moves with it, which is good, but we've got to fix that snapping. It shouldn't do that once we grab it out. So there's a reference not being cleared somewhere. So the idea is to sort this out. I need to fix the slide position as well. I had that set up before, but you can see that it moves forward now. So need to figure that one out. And I also need to move this gun, because this one is set up to move back to where it is. So I need to change the mesh to like a torch or something, which would be fine. I think everybody's working today. I pinged the Discord. What I could probably do is put a link into Patreon as well. That would be handy. I feel like I got a hair stuck to my face. What's going on? Phone's going crazy. Right. Create post link. We'll do that. I'll just send it to you. Where have I sent that to? All members. There we go. That's going to be a bit better. Let everybody know that we're actually live. Ex-Human, hi, welcome to the stream. Right, so while people trickle in, I'm going to tackle these grab holsters. Or the holsters anyway, pistol arcade style. So that's the gun. Single item storage. So the issue is when we grab an actor out of it, we're not resetting the position. We're not telling it that it's cleared the position. So I'm going over that. That's what we need to tell to clear it. Otherwise, it snaps back, which is strange. Ex-Human, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Spent all day on the phone to services trying to cancel my internet, but finally got it done. It's been a bit of a pain. But other than that, been pretty good. Meetings as well, just trying to plod on now. Do something eventful for Friday. I've also reorganized my office, so if I'm looking in different places and then audio's going bad, it's because I moved my microphone. Item was grabbed, should work. Why is it when we release that it attaches back? This is the attached to actor content. The detach from actor code should still work. We're not calling it anywhere in here. When we grab it, it attaches to the hand. When we spawn it in, we attach the actor to ourselves in here. But then when we release it from our hand, it snaps back. The question is why? End overlap should clear any references we have to the spawned actor, which we've got up here. See, this was released. Actually, I think you don't need to use soft class reference for little things. Well, the soft class reference in here is fine. So on begin play, we load that in, so we do spawn it in here, but it can be different ones, and it's also used in different places. So if we have a hard reference, it just increases the size that's loaded in, so we don't need that. So you can see here it's down to less than a megabyte. So if we remove the hard references, we don't have to worry about it. And then we could also tell the player when they load them in. So for example, if you're running this as it is, and you don't want these to be populated on start, you could send an event to just be like, okay, wait for this thing to happen. So player collides with a collision box, or they pick something up that allows them to unlock body holsters, that kind of logic anyway. Then it can be loaded in and then spawned in without having it being constantly referenced, which makes life a little bit easier. It's also because the template itself is aimed at beginners. The idea is that if they open this up, they're like, okay, it's a soft reference, why are we doing that? And the idea is to save memory because we're targeting mobile devices such as the Quest 3 for standalone, so we've got to keep that in mind. So hopefully that explanation gives an idea of why we've got the soft references, because we're doing the same thing for the grenades here. So when I was building this to the Quest 3, we were getting a frame rate drop when we looked basically in this direction. And then what it turned out to be was inside the grenades, I was spawning an actor, which is explosion from class, on a call. But because that spawn actor, so if I open this up, this one here, because the spawn actor was just literally referencing, let's do, so what I'm going to do is I'll show you this one. It'll be a better idea of what's going on. So size map, our grenade is 1.6 megabytes loaded into game. So when this is in the scene, that's 1.6 megabytes that's always loaded in. However, if we take that soft reference out and we search for grenade explosion, which is the one that we're loading in with the soft reference, and then we go back and refresh this window. I can't remember if I compiled it, so I'm going to double check and just do it again. Then what we get is not the right one. Let me update these and then validate assets and folder. This normally makes it show. If not, I'll have to restart the editor. Browse and then size map. Right there. I'll load it back up. Just because if anybody's rewatching this, it makes a little bit more sense of why I'm doing the soft references and then why we're going into it. So the way that the grenade works is when I pick it up, it only then loads in the explosion if we need it. So if the grenade exists in the scene, we don't have to load in a whole bunch of memory. Because the explosion contains quite a large texture, which could be optimized even more. But it also contains a Niagara effect with some other information on it. So when we load that in with the grenade that's set to spawn actor, what we get is quite a large file size. So size map. What are we doing? I might have optimized that a little bit more. So yeah, so there we go. It goes up to 2 megabytes now. So just having a grenade on screen is almost 5 megabytes for basically both of them. So it's like 10 megabytes for the grenade because it's kind of duplicated. So if I go into the explosion now and I remove the I thought I had a soft reference in this. Where do I do the Niagara effect? Niagara effect. That's the one. Spawn in. That should be fine actually. But I was using it early on where it had quite a large file size that was brought in. But that's a brief explanation of why we're using the soft references as much as we are. But the overall gist is we're targeting mobile. Hope that little detour helped explain it. That should now reduce it back down. So yeah, we go from 5 megabytes to 1.7, or might actually be lower at 1.6 loaded into game, which is good. And you can see here that the grenade is the static mesh is 1.4 megabytes, and almost a megabyte of it is literally taken up just from the material. So by optimizing that material, we could reduce that down even more. Like it won't change in here, but if we had a trim sheet or a texture atlas, we could bring that file size down and make it a lot more sense. I think, what's the size of the cup that I've got? 2.9 megs. That's just for the world grid material that's on that cup, which is really bad. So if I load this one up, and then the world grid material is actually on the component. This is a really good example of why it's good to change your references. So if we right click on this and go to size map, you can see that we have our mug as in the scene, and it's using a solid white color. So solid color master underscore instance, which is a bad name, I know it, but that material is here in this window, which is taking up 62.7 kilobytes. But because that static mesh is loaded into the game with the default world grid material on it, we're also loading that into the blueprint. So what I want to do is really go into here, open up our cup, change this material out. So let's just do solid color. I'll pick a, what's it good? One. Pick that one. So metal. And then what I can do now in the blueprint is we replace this with the original material. So it's only loading in what's actually done on the screen. And then if we right click and then we do size map, it should actually update now. There, so you can see how much we've literally just removed quite a few megabytes actually, just by changing the material back to what comes in engine and not the grid one. So hopefully that gives an idea of why it's good to go through this stuff. I saw a guy creating object pool on game start, and that's why I'm in a confusion. Like, you try searching on YouTube object pool Unreal Engine. Object pool is more like an actor pool. You kind of want to have stuff loaded in at the beginning of the game. A good example of that actually for pooling would specifically be the bullets. So in here we spawn some bullets into the game. They're not actually done until you load the weapon in this case, but if they existed inside the magazine, so let's say we have our actual gun magazine. Where is magazine? Weapon magazines. So let's say we've got this master blueprint which has our weapon magazine in it. So one of these, and we're spawning bullets, so 3D actors, or just actors in general, into the magazine, like in the top, so we could actually see them physically. What you would want to do is you want to pool those. So you bring in, let's say, 20 bullets into an array, and then whenever you pick up a magazine, you populate that magazine with those spawned specific ones. So what's happening here in mine, for example, because I haven't got around to doing a pooled method for these, when I pull the slider, I rack the bullets. So we jump in. What I can do is show you this. So when I load it, now it's spawned in bullet actors, which stops the hitch. So when I pull the gun back, it should eject a bullet. So it ejects a little bullet. I've got to remove this rifle, so I can eject the bullet, and then it goes on. Let's say every one of these, this bloody rifle, wait there, I'm going to remove that rifle. Right, let's do this again. So every time I spawn one of these bullets, that's actor bullet 1, actor bullet 2, actor bullet 3, actor bullet 4. So you can imagine in a game where you're firing hundreds and hundreds of rounds, that integer value starts climbing and you're spawning them in. Even though I'm destroying them, it starts increasing that number, so I'm spawning a new one every time. Ooh, that's strange. I should be able to pick that back up. So what you'd want to do is you want to pool a certain amount of these. So you say like 20 bullets. You have them pooled into an array. So once they're destroyed, they go back into the array. And then when I pull the pull the slider, it pulls it out of the array and then spawns it back in the level, or creates it in the level, or moves it. However you want to do it, really. So that way you're reducing the memory load for what's going on. and then that makes it a little bit more performant as well. To be fair, it makes it a lot more performant, especially if you're firing lots of ammo and you're spawning things in constantly. That's what you'd want to consider as well. Hopefully that explanation makes sense. But you would ideally want to use the object pool method with the soft reference method that I've got here for specific things. But it's gonna be based entirely on what it is you're trying to do and trying to achieve. Bullets are the main example of using an object pooler. So the question is, why, when I loaded the gun, could I not pick it up again? Weird. I wonder if we're hitting the magazine. Yes, cool. I'm so used to looking at the monitor on the right hand side, I've moved everything around. There we go. Don't know if that'll make any difference. So we need to figure out why in the holster, when we let go of something, it's been attached back. This is the auto attach to player. This is the one that's done by the rifle that was going back into itself. Body holster. That one. Single item storage. This one. I got a feeling it's something to do with this. Let's try. I'm just going to delete that, and then hopefully that one stays in. What we're doing. Our custom event should be fine. Yeah, there we go. Disconnect that for now. So we plug that into here. So now we've got a reference to let go of the bullet, or let go of the item in the overlap. Objects, reference, that's fine. Overlap actor, and then we want to set. Actually, I want to make a simulated game for PC, but I don't know where to start. Try and make environments first. If you want to make a simulated game, your best bet is probably try to dive into Blueprints or C++. If you can get that down before you do environments, it's going to make things a lot better. All my cables are falling off the ceiling. So it would be better to approach it that way. Like, you can do your environments, there's no harm in that, but if you haven't got a game to use the environments in, you're going to have a bit of a problem. Oi there. Hey, you're building things. I am. It's been a long time, man. Feels like it's been a very long time since I've seen you. Right, what have I got? I've plugged that in there. I might have just figured out what the problem was. Put that there. Problem might be this one. Wait, it's... If I grab it, let's do... These holsters have been such a pain. There we go. But the problem is once we overlap it, it doesn't actually reattach. So the logic is somewhere in this line. Which is cool. It really has, and we're still doing VR on the side. Wicked. We're taking the flat screen stuff for nowadays. Yeah, it's a bit easier, isn't it? That's the thing. Oh. Sometimes it's just nice to do the flat screen stuff. Spawned actor is true. That's what the team's pulling me in for. Yeah. See, I haven't had that much VR client work lately, to be fair. A lot of it has been just ordinary, like, 2D stuff. Which doesn't bother me, to be fair. I get to do the VR here and then the 2D stuff for them. Which has been quite nice. Custom event, first hand dropped. So if I'm releasing it, rename. Let's do that. Overlap actor. Actor. Set. Unoverlap. I might have to do a check to make sure that the overlap is not the player. Make sure the overlap that we're doing is not the player, because if we overlap it with the hands, it might register that instead. So say false. We could do some checks afterwards. The overlapping actor is you. Let's remove you, simplify this up. If it is not the player, then it means we're overlapping an actor. And we check to see if there's been a spawned actor. What have I got going on here? It's been a while since I've been into this. Might have set this up on a late stream, so I might have been tired. We don't need to care if we've got a spawned actor. We just need to get the overlapped actor. And then we check to see if it has a component. has a component and it goes through. Well, we get the component. If it is a stationary actor, we don't do anything. If it is not, it's already not, so we need to true. If it is not a stationary actor, otherwise when we walked past the levers and valves, it was taking them off the wall and adding them to the holster. So we're going to make sure we don't do that. Which is cool. Then overlap on the grabbed actor. Well, the holster has its own overlap. That's what it's doing. So we're checking against that. Overlap actor. I don't need to do any of this apart from. See, I'm happy ripping this out. It's like it's just pretty crap off the bat. So we do that. So we get the grab component. We store a reference to it. That grab component means that that is the one that we're on. We listen to see if the first hand has been dropped, which is typically the one on the trigger, which is fine. And if it is, what we do is we get the overlapped actor. Just get the overlapped actor and attach it to the holster, which is fine. And we make sure to set the physics to off so it doesn't fall to the ground, and then it has no collision, which is good. And then what we could do, it's going to constantly be firing, isn't it? Oh, we turn collision off. What we could do is clear the overlapped actor reference, like so. After all of this is fired, it doesn't really need to care about it. So we'll see what happens. We simulate. What we want to do is be able to pull it off the wall and then put it back on. Okay. And then it immediately snaps back. Why does that snap back? So this, as soon as we let go, it's not clearing. I think the problem is this is setting permanently. As soon as we let go, it snaps back, which means it's firing this code, which means this grab component reference isn't being removed. Let's have a look. I'll now need to snap back for a potential journal tablet for a project of mine. It's super simple. So all I'm doing is getting the grab component from the actor, and then when we let go of it, it listens to the dropped dispatcher, and then it just snaps it back. It literally just attaches it back to the actor that it was. So we can use it as we want, and then it'll attach back. But this one shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. So as soon as we grab it, spawn actor in. If we do this, what we could do is we could do another first hand dropped. We kind of just want the one. Because this line only goes if it's fired. If it's done. So let's plug that in like so. Like I normally say, we can tidy it up afterwards. Would I do once for the current code, then get in the new location when the grab releases? I don't think the do once is going to make much of a difference, to be fair. It will do here. We can do a do once once we got this logic sorted, so this isn't constantly firing. That would be fine. Or we can just disable the collision on this holster object type weapon magazine. Why is it weapon magazine? So when we spawn an actor in, then it listens to this. Then we drop it. We clear the references. However, if we overlap, again, then we attach it back in. That's not going to work. That's going to do it immediately. I could do a custom event. We run this line, then we do a check. There it goes. So it is that line at the bottom. It's causing a problem. So what we need to do is on the overlap. On overlap, get the actor. I'm wondering if I could do something when the actor spawns, if we need it. On overlap, we need to kind of do the same thing. But we can't. Shoot. Because this doesn't, if we're not spawning an actor and we're just having an ordinary holster, this doesn't do anything anyway. Wait there, what I could do, has grab component. If we have a grab component, fire. There we go, has grab component. Then we've got this one. And then I can call that down here as well. That's grab component. Cool. So now, if we spawn an actor in, it tells it to activate the event dispatcher to look for the grab component. If not, so it runs off the false channel, it does nothing. But then when we overlap our actor to our holster, then it activates it. So what we could do is we could do a check to see if grab component exists. And use that. If we spawned it in, it's true. Oh no, it's always going to be true. We might have to have an end overlap in here to test that. Spawn actor. It attaches. I could do assign first hand grabbed for the top part. Oh, why do we keep getting that? Oh, it's because I haven't named it. First hand grabbed, you gonna let me? There we go. Right, so now when we grab this one out, we can clear these. And now everything on the overlap works off this. So actually, what I could do, overlap. Is just clear the reference. So it's, if we're overlapping it, because it should fire. Oh, it's only going to do it once, isn't it? It's not going to do it. Why have I got it in my head all of a sudden that it's going to fire it on tick with overlap? It's not. It's only going to do it once. It's not even. Okay. That didn't even fire. What's the match cube? World dynamic. That might be a little bit better. Then we're only trying to add VR interactable stuff to it. So let's see if we can at least get the overlap to work. Are we seeing a print string anywhere? No. Why is that not triggering? On component begin overlap. See, there we go. I get a vibration every time I overlap with it. But I don't get a print string message. So close. I don't think I disable collision on the weapons, is it? Wait though, what I'm going to try and do is a little bit of juggling. Cool. I need to fix that. Stop it from doing it. Okay. No. It's not triggering. Yep, so it's in the right place. The other way I could approach this is have a line trace or do a calculation on tick between locations. If I hold an actor, then the body holster checks to see if it is closer than X value. If it is, it means that it's in the holster. That way we don't have to rely on overlap. The problem with that is, if we have multiple in the level, they're all going to be running tick at the same time and trying to point to the same thing. Which isn't going to be the best thing. I could build a component in the interactable, or I could build it inside of the grab component. That's universal. So on grabbed, we start running a timer to see if we're closer to all the body holsters. Or we could do it on release. Get all actors of class, body holster, and then get the closest one to us. That would make sure that we didn't need to do overlaps or anything stupid like that. Oh, that might work better. I might try that actually. So if we try to release, we do get all actors of class. What did I call it? Single item storage. for each loop. This can be in a function in a minute, we can put that in there. So we loop through all the actors in the scene. There shouldn't be that many of them, they're only on the player. But it shouldn't care, so we do print string. What happens is when we release the gun, or any VR interactable, should give us a, there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Looks about right. So we'd have to put some checks in there to be like, if it is one of these ones. So constantly spawn, then we say don't use. So if it is not constantly set, if it's set to not constantly spawn, then we only get the ones that we need, which is fine. Then from that one, we say we need a way to get the closest actor. We have an example of that logic inside of the the player. Right in here, get component nearest to motion controller. Determines which car component is the nearest. Get world location for where the grab component is in the world. No, wait. Yeah, so that's the grab component, and then this is the hand. So grab component, which is self, and then the hand. So we want to get world location, scene, plug that in there. And then we do that one closest holster. If it's less than 5, then it comes out true. Print string. So there we go. So hopefully we get away and then I drop it, we don't see anything. But if I get this and then I'm really close, oh we should. Maybe not. Self. Get world location. Print string. Let's have a look. So I can set logic up in here so it doesn't matter if we don't have any in the scene. There we go. So there's one within like 50 units. It might have just been too low. No? That one did it. 9. Weird. Come on. Is it doing it in the right bit? 2, 1. If it's less than 60, that should be true. We should be getting at least one of them. That didn't work. Is it something to do with get world, reference to self, get owner? Could we do that? Get owner? We try that instead. Get world. We want get actor location, get owner, get attached parent. That's probably going to be a more accurate one to do. Let's try that. I might have these the wrong way around as well. That's a possibility. So we've got to be really close. I don't know why we get this lag on the screen when I start it up. There we go. I don't think that's going to make any difference at all, but we'll find out. Okay. So we do that, we say single item storage. Attach act to the holster. Act to attach. That goes in there. You like that. So we attach to actor. We tell it to make sure the physics is not on, so it doesn't fall to the ground. Holster has no place in that grab component. That might be okay. 2 seconds, guys. Cool, just make sure we're still going. Yeah. Cool. Right, so we do that. So hopefully if we say attach actor to holster, what we should be able to do is go from here. Attach actor to holster. Say true. So hopefully that's way better. The only thing I need to do is increase the distance, I think. It's on 150. I thought that would be relatively large for what we need. We also need to make sure this only fires once. This will be cool. I didn't see that one. $46. Did I? I might have brought the constantly spawn stuff. I might have to put that back in. Yeah. There we go. Cool. So it has to be quite close. I don't get why it has to be so close. It does feel a lot nicer though. That looks like a mess, doesn't it? Holster range. Okay. Problem with this. Ooh, this might be a problem. $120 DB single item storage. What's a good way to reference this? Shoot. Do I keep the logic inside of the grab component, which then gets replicated to every other actor, but references the item storage location? Or do I put it in the actors themselves, which is just duplicating the same code over and over again? But it means that the grab component isn't referencing a single item. Could do that, which is going to break this because of that. Oh, and then I'd have to cast to it, which would be a reference. To be fair, it's quite low. Well, that wasn't meant to happen. Let's have a look. Always crashes at the worst point. To be fair, you never get a crash at a good time, do you? What's going on with my thing? Let's do some Googling. Need to get class size map. That's the problem. It's small, but it means it's referenced in every single grab component in the game. I could be taking it too far. Yeah, I know. Just let me do it anyway. Still referenced. That should be fine. Don't know why it makes me restart it just to see what it's doing. I might have to just keep it. Let's have a look. Like, it's making it so it's gotta be close. Which isn't a bad thing, really. It's supposed to be set up for constant spawn, which is why it fails. That does pretty much exactly what we needed to do. But what happens if it is false? I might put this one in here for now, and then have a think how I can do it a little bit better. I could do this as its own component, actually. But then I'd have to get this one to know when it was released. I'm going to leave it in there for now. So now we can get the grab component. Update item. Don't know what that. I don't even know what that was for. Right. Okay. Is stream still on? Everybody good? Cool. Cool. Hopefully. Should we grab that one? There we go. It's weird that it has to be so close. It's that value, the value that we got in there just doesn't seem to be doing any of it. But it's done, which is really good. What I need to do is figure out why I can't particularly pick up the gun. Okay, so I fixed the grab stuff. Grab component, a little bit expensive now. Oh, it's got that reference. I wish it didn't have that reference in it. Screw it. You know what I'm gonna do? Component. Yes. Let's have a look. Now this one's referencing both. To be fair, this one's fine because if we're loading in and we're telling it that we want to attach the held item to a holster, it means that the grab component's already loaded in. So it's really not going to care. And then we could just do the get all actor class. So grab components. I thought I deleted the wrong one there. I did. I deleted the wrong function. I don't even think I'm using that function actually. If I try and do that, does it tell me? Does it just let me delete all of them? Uh-oh. There we go. Does that work? Ooh. Nice, that's exactly what we want. That's not the right one. So now what's happening? Even if we put this in, so this is on the weapons. If somebody deletes the items from the player, single item storage, it just won't do it, which will be great. And then that'll help clean some stuff up. So this logic should still work. that should be on all of them. Excellent. That's all we should be able to add. Kenk, hello, welcome to the stream. Right. So save logs as we had before, and then when we get close to it, we should. Ooh, it's not doing it. On there. Do I need to increase this value? Should not have to go that high. I might not be running. Am I running the code? I want to get component by class, which is the grab component. Go through that. Hey Rael, watching new tutorials. Thanks for everything. I'm learning so much from you. Wicked. I'm glad to hear it. I'm going to have a whole bunch of new tutorials coming out at the end of next week or the week after that for everyone. The problem is my internet's been so bad I can't actually upload any tutorials to YouTube. The only way I can seem to get content to YouTube is by doing a live stream. So next week I should get a new internet provider and then I can push some bigger tutorials out, which will be a lot better. It should stop it from kind of crapping out on us, which will be handy. Let's see if this is firing. No, no. First hand drop, which means this isn't doing it. Attach single item storage. Attach single item storage. It's on the actor of the Z class, so that should be fine, which means this isn't firing. And is this because of this? Right, so we should get, we do this, it should tell us every actor in the level that has, yes, grab component. Trigger. Cool. Oh. Let's have a look. This dispatcher isn't firing, even though we have it referencing the grab component. Could be referencing the wrong grab component. What we could do, might have to change this to a scene component actually. Scene component, we do that one, and then we just get the correct grab component. So let's just copy all of this. Variable. Variable. I'll be waiting with excitement. Cool. It's literally the problem right now is I can't upload videos to YouTube. It just cancels it. So it gets to about 75% and then it just cancels most of the videos that are uploaded with YouTube Studio. So I'm trying to get all that sorted now. 200. Right. So get the scene component we're attached to. Do that. Get attach parent. We want that to read grab component trigger. If it reads grab component trigger, then we'll be on the right track. Do this. Why is that? Wait, what? Event begin play. That should give us a reference. Ah, it is. Grab component trigger. Excellent. So, if that's the case, oh. It's not reading it. Oh, there's no print string. I've removed the print string. Let me can play. Get owner. Get crab component by class. We get the owner, we get the crab component by class. We check to see if it could be holstered. Scene components. Let's have a look, see what happens. We're getting it, but we're not referencing this. Oh. What? Grab component. First hand grabbed. Let's see if it fails. If it is, it means we're not getting the grab component. And we should. Oh, it's passing through. We are getting the right one. How can we be getting the right reference, but we're not listening to it? Oh! It's the wrong bloody gun. It didn't have the actual component on it. There we go. I've been doing that and it's... Oh my god, that was so much more difficult than it needs to be. Come on. They don't have a component now, but that would make sense. Oh. Bullet holes, ground component. Single lamp storage, and then manual weapon in here. Attach the single lamp storage. Cool. And then missing. Let's do a little restart. Contacts do. Let's click size map, single item storage, and then grab components. Okay, that's really small. Or reach loop's probably referencing single item storage. Yeah. If that's the case, this doesn't really matter. All of this could be inside of another component. And then you could attach that component to any actor. And it would allow you to attach an item to it. Which could work pretty well. On the road of being more modular. Let me try something. See component item storage point. Parent. fine. Oh. Let's just put that in there. So now I should be able to disconnect all of this code. And then we just go to here. So scene component add item storage point, like so, or just attach it to there. Ooh. It's going to loop through every actor in the scene. Ooh. Get owner. That's not the right one. I wonder if we could do a check to get all actors in range. Get all actors in distance. Chat. I could do that. Attach to single item. This is the one that's attached to the guns. So when we let go of it, we do a little sphere trace. If it's within 200 units. do that. And then I want to test it to make sure that when we release something, well, it'd be handy if I set it to visualize. One frame. I'm not too sure how well this is going to show up on the stream. Oh, it's really big. Right, so we can do that a lot smaller. So we could do like 20. Get a copy of the array. Actually, for each loop. Yeah, let's do for each loop. Break hit results. Hit actor. Get actor location. UE5 multi trades. Closest hit to origin on multi-sphere trace. Or distance. And then, okay, so we're going to do hit actor, which is can we just do distance straight to distance? As component item storage point. Is valid. Constantly spawn. There we go. Just didn't like it. Let's see. Which one would this be in? That's self. Distance. Check the holster and then get owner. Pretty sure that's the right way. say right way. I'm making it up. But the goal item storage point. So we can add that in here. Item storage point is in here. And then attach single item storage is going to be on the weapons. So hopefully that should work. Maybe not. Oh, nothing's there. I got myself confused. This is the one that's on the guns. Attached to single item storage. Yes. When we release, we do a sphere trace, which is here, to see if we've hit an actor. We check that actor to see if it has the component, scene component item storage. If it does, we go through and then we check to see if it's set to constantly spawn. If it is, we don't do anything. If it's false, we attach the actor. Let's try that. And they didn't spawn. I wonder if it's because there's no socket. Ooh. I thought you could normally attach actor to component. Attach actor to component. Nope. Get a reference to self. Oh, that's why. I'm here rebuilding it and it's just not plugged in. Still didn't do it though. See, if I can get this to work, it'll be cool. Weird, it didn't fire at all. Oh, I've done it again. Blueprints. Act at the spawn. That's why. That should do it. Right, they spawned in, but they didn't attach. There we go. Cool. And that's on the grip point attached to single item. So let's try this. Drop it. Okay, it's not. It's always firing. Is it because we're hitting the player? Let's see if we can do that. Okay, so it's not detecting it now, which means we're not hitting the player. But we're also not hitting the parent, which is because in single item storage, we don't have anything to collide with. We don't have anything with a collision. Wait there. Visible. Let's try that. is 5:05. I'm gonna have to go. Hey. Okay, I can double up. Attached actor. Attached actor. Attached actor. Okay. Attached actor is not valid. Do that. Cool, and that should be it. Cool. Let's set these back up. Possibly spear trace level. That should be fine. No. Okay, I'll play around with this and I'll see what's going on with it, and then we can take a look at it a little bit more. For now, that's going to be it. So I'm going to wrap up, and I will see you all later on. Cool. Bye.